can you replicate yourself? Not yourself now, the mentality that you have. Because I'm looking at a number of employers these days. People do not have the grit, the patience, the endurance, the perseverance. People just want to make money. And it's sad because nobody is willing to take a chance on you. No, even when you decide to go all out on a limb for your employer, they don't really care. So, what can we do to increase this kind of mentality? Because at the end of the day, it falls back on all of us.
Another good question, Luashon. First, a bit of caveat. You didn't know of me until you stumbled on me and brought me here. So there are many like me out there. The sad thing is, it's not newsworthy. What the news carries, you know what the news carries. It's somebody has murdered somebody, somebody has stolen somebody. So this kind of news isn't newsworthy. So that's the unfortunate thing. So perhaps to your industry, I mean, there are many like me. That's the truth. Well, I'm completely local breed and local trained, and there are many. But you don't hear of us or know us because again, it's not the newsworthy things. Then the how can you now speaking to staff? I've spoken to the employers that need to put this in place. Now, whether your organization provides it or not, this is my advice to staff. Because you can be an entrepreneur, even if those things are not prevalent in your organization. Guess what? The beneficiary ultimately is you. For when you go and start your own business, or from that your entrepreneurial spirit, someone with those kind of values will find you and come and take you out of that place where you are not appreciated.
Better. So the concept of entrepreneurship is you're not just a regular person.
Absolutely.
You have a different mentality. And it makes you stand out and like gold, such that you're sought out after. Because there's something you said from the last one, how eventually, even if you're being used in quotes, it is the end product is for yourself.
Absolutely.
So how can a person who's listening, who is unemployed, take advantage of the great resignation?
Thank you, Oluwaseun. First, perspectives matter. You know, it's like that famous, you put down a letter 6, and depending on what side you're standing on, the 6 could look like a 9. Another analogy is the cup half full or half empty. So perspectives matter. So a critical element is each of us must be careful who we hang out with. Because a lot of influences people act out on is because of who they listen to and who they hang out with. So we need to be conscious and intentional in hanging around positive people who look for the opportunities in the crisis. Because yes, there's lots of crises, there are lots of reasons to japa or to change jobs, bad bosses, no career, and all of that. But in all of those situations, there are opportunities. Right. So first thing I'll advise is be intentional in making sure you hang around positive-minded people. Follow who know road, like they say. And you met me online, and now it's like we've known each other for years. So we're in the social media era, so you're looking for jobs, the right kind of jobs. Let's start from the vacancy point. Forget all those first class 2-1 that they always put there. It's deliberate. Because even when they say only first class 2-1, you have 2,000 people applying for one vacancy. So you can imagine if they didn't put that restriction, you'll have 10,000. So the idea is to discourage you. Right. With my third class, I applied and I got those jobs in my time. So what you want to do when you see a vacancy is, what do they want done? Not the degree. So you tell me there's a vacancy for a head marketing of someone in marketing to sell something. I know I can sell. I will apply. But how you write your CV, you won't be putting your grade or degree on the CV. So CV writing itself, because that's the first thing they see before they even invite you over. So that comes again from who you associate with, who fill you up with those positivity. You know, not aspire to perspire kind of.
To Maguire.
Not for a chicken to face a lion and say, I can beat this lion. Not that kind of thing, but the right kind of thing. Now, when you get the job, or those currently employed, if you need to change jobs, more important than the salary is the culture and the values in that place you are going to. Because you could get 100,000 naira higher than your pay, but in that place, they may have a horrible work culture, I've given you an example of medical and a few other things. There may be no such thing. So you'll soon find out that your 100,000 more, right? You have left where you have medical cover and a few other benefits to a place where the boss can throw a shoe at you or insult you or sexually abuse you and all of those things. And usually when people make those moves, out of shame, they can't go back or let anybody know they've made a wrong move as it is. Now, when you're at the job, these are some guides for you to become an intrapreneur. One, you must be curious of the job. You must ask questions. You must be curious and somebody that asks questions. Two, get a sponsor within your organization or within your industry. You see, for all of us, at whatever level you are usually being discussed in rooms where you don't have access to. So get a sponsor that is ahead of you. So when they are discussing in that room and they're looking for who to recommend or even looking for who to sack, somebody will raise a voice on your behalf. So when I say be curious, you get a sponsor by what you value you put on the table. So the seniors, the guys begin to recognize that Oluwaseun is different. Oluwaseun is different. And I've had several instances where people's jobs have been saved and people have been accelerated in their career because they had a sponsor. It might be outside your industry, it could be, but helpful in your organization. Then you must place a high value in protecting and advancing lawful and legitimate interest of your organization. Stop worrying about everything salary. You see, when you're in a workplace, what is really happening is they are paying you to give you experience instead of you paying to get experience. So that's why it's perspectives. Look at it like they're paying me to teach me. Then I'm getting to know the customers. I'm getting to see the mistakes they make as a business. So that when I start my own business or move elsewhere, I've used them to learn. But if you have a salary benefit mentality, you will never see those opportunities. Or you'll be saying, Oshodi, we all know Oshodi in Lagos. It took a Governor Fashola to come to say Oshodi is not such a rubbish place and started the transformation that we see today. So rather than seeing Oshodi as a horrible place, he saw the opportunities. Look at the outcome. So then don't focus on self-survival. That's the human default. It's human. It's just about me. Rather, focus on serving. Be intentional in what value can I add to this department, to this organization. And in getting your values across, you need to also invest in communication skills and how to articulate that value. Because if you're not careful, you could be misconstrued as being arrogant and stubborn. So get a coach, like I said. Get people, a mentor who can guide you on communication skills, how to articulate your views so that you get ahead. And remember, you now have a sponsor. So through your sponsor, before you know it, you just be accelerated. Then a lot of people are like, no, this is me, be you. That's one of the current crazes. Why it's okay to be you. You must understand the politics and what goes on in your organization. Every organization has some form of politics and influence going on. So you must be intentional in understanding what are the dynamics here. Otherwise, you may be knocking your head on the wall and associating with the wrong people. So for as long as you work anywhere, you must quickly understand what are the things that are the do's and don'ts here. Don't say, be you, I am me. Leave that at home once you get to the office until you leave the office. So when you do this, honestly, you'll become intrapreneurial, even if your organization does not provide those things I said at the beginning.
And at the end of it all, you become the biggest beneficiary of everything.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at the YouTube comment section and it is on fire. I don't even know which one I'm going to take, but maybe when I come back, we'll take it because time really flies by. We have to take another break. And when we come back, I cannot help it. We have to talk about the work culture and the ethics of the Gen Z because they are the future.